Your original hometown dealer, Saida Trudeau Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram.
Vice President Kamala Harris criticized Donald Trump's inflammatory rhetoric about migrants during a campaign interview with the National Association of Black Journalists in Philadelphia.
When you have these positions, when you have that kind of microphone in front of you, you really ought to understand at a very deep level how much your words have meaning. I learned at a very young stage in my career that the meaning of my words could impact whether somebody was free or in prison. When you are bestowed with a microphone that is that big, there is a profound responsibility that comes with that. That is an extension of what should not be lost in this moment, this concept of the public trust.
Harris condemned Trump's claims about immigrants and the violence that they allegedly incite, stating that such rhetoric has heightened fear and insecurity among various communities, including the LGBTQ community, immigrants, and women.
Yes, I feel safe. I have Secret Service protection. But that doesn't change my perspective on the importance of fighting for the safety of everybody in our country, and doing everything we can to, again, lift people up and not beat people down so they feel alone and are made to feel small and made to feel like they're somehow not a part of it or us.
Harris says she urges voters to ensure Trump does not have a platform to spread this rhetoric again. This interview contrasted sharply with Trump's previous appearances with the National Association of Black Journalists. Trump had previously questioned Harris's racial identity, a tactic she had dismissed as divisive. Harris reaffirmed her commitment to earning the support of Black voters at this interview.
So I appreciate the spirit of the question, but I'll tell you, I've often been asked this question in a way that I've had to respond by first saying that I think it's very important to not operate from the assumption that Black men are in anybody's pocket. Black men are like any other voting group. You got to earn their vote. So I'm working to earn the vote, not assuming I'm going to have it because I am Black, but because the policies and the perspectives I have understands what we must do to recognize the needs of all communities, and I intend to be a president for all people.
Regarding reparations, Harris did not take a definitive stance, but she did acknowledge the need to address historical impacts of slavery and redlining. She also endorsed a two-state solution to the Israel-Palestinian conflict, supporting a ceasefire and ensuring security and dignity for both Israelis and Palestinians.
I absolutely believe that this war has to end, and it has to end as soon as possible. Stepping back, October 7, 1,200 Israelis were slaughtered, and actually and some Americans, by the way, in that number, slaughtered. Young people who were attending a concert, women were horribly raped. And yes, so I have said, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would.
This week, Vice President Kamala Harris is speaking to the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute's 47th Annual Leadership Conference in Washington, and she also has trips planned later this week in Michigan and Wisconsin.